Good morning everyone. So previous class we discussed about singly reinforced section. Okay. Now today I am going to discuss about doubly reinforced section. What do you mean by singly reinforced section? Can anyone? If we provide the reinforcement in one zone, then it is called singly reinforced section. And when generally where we provide reinforcement? In the tension zone. Why? Because concrete is weak in tension but strong in compression. These are the course objective. Means here you can understand about what is doubly reinforced section. Okay, what is doubly reinforced section, where you have to provide the reinforcement and how we calculate the reinforcement both in tension zone and compression zone. In the doubly reinforced section, what happened? We have to balance the section first. Okay, we have to balance the section first. And here the limiting moment of resistance that we are found in singly reinforced section, that is what? MOR. Limiting moment of resistance, that is MU, is less than given bending moment of the beam. All of you know about the bending moment of the beam. Suppose this is a simple supported beam. Okay, and if I put some load here, then it will be bent like this. Okay, so this given bending moment should be greater than moment of resistance in the doubly reinforced section. Okay, in the doubly reinforced section, what happened? The given bending moment is greater than moment of resistance. So our design is failed. That's why to balance this design, what we have to do? We have to provide reinforcement in the compression zone as well as tension zone. Okay? Suppose this is one section. Okay? Singly reinforced, first you have to draw singly reinforced section. Okay, here I have to provide reinforcement in the tension zone. So this is your what? Neutral axis. Okay, now from this to this is the clear cover and from this to CG of this is the effective cover. So I have to draw my stress strain diagram from the top compression fiber to the CG of the reinforcement, to the CG of the reinforcement. So it will be like this. This is the section, this is the strain diagram, and the stress diagram is like this. Okay, this is totally parabola. So what you understand from this diagram? This is the section, this is the strain diagram, and this is the stress diagram. Okay, now I am going to put some values. If this is singly reinforced section, so this is the what? Width of the section. Width of the section is B. Then effective width is this, that is small d, and this is capital D. Okay, capital D. Now here the maximum strain in the singly reinforced section is, that is same for all the beam. Okay, 0.0035, and here this is for compression zone, and for tension zone 0.002. Okay, this is the maximum strain in the compression zone and this is the maximum strain in the tension zone. Now here what happened, whenever the stress diagram is behaving as a rectangular part, there is uniform stress is there. Okay, uniform stress is there, and here the stress is 0.446 FCK. Okay, and we are going to find out what? Here the compressive force. Compressive force here we are going to find out, and here this is the tensile force, and our compressive force is 0.36 FCK B into X, and here T equal to 0.87 FI AST. Okay, and from the distance between compression to tension is called lever arm. This is called lever arm, which is nothing but D minus 0.42 XU. Okay, XU or X. So this distance is how much? 0.42 X. Okay, so these things are the basic things for the singly reinforced section. So by using these data, now I am going to discuss about doubly reinforced section. Here, this is the doubly reinforced section. What happened in this section? Suppose this is one doubly reinforced section. Okay, these are the tension bars and these are the compression bars. Okay, so now I am going to convert this beam into two parts. First is singly reinforced section and second one is imaginary beam. Okay, what? Imaginary beam. In this beam, what happened? This is your steel bars. Okay, and here the area of steel is AST limit. I just given AST limit, which may be AST1 also. Okay, in place of AST1, I place AST limit. Why? Because in a singly reinforced section, what happened? Whenever you are going to find out the moment of resistance, here that condition steel fails fast. Okay, the steel will fail some maximum limit or not maximum limit. That's why I put AST limit here, because at this area of steel, the steel fails. Okay, now here the additional tension steel AST, and that is compression steel ASC. Okay, by using these two diagram, we can draw the doubly reinforcement diagram. Okay, so before going to discuss about doubly reinforced section, first what we are going to do in the doubly reinforced sections. First we have to know that what we are going to do in the doubly reinforced section. Let's see here compression zone we have 2 bars and tension zone we have 2 bars. So first what we have to find out, how can you find out the moment of resistance? How? First what we can do, what we have to do? First what we have to do? First we have to find out the moment of resistance. First we have to find out the moment of resistance, that is mu limit. For which condition? For this singly reinforced section we have to find out the mu1. Okay, that is your mu limit, because we are going to use the AST limit. That's why. Okay, this is the first we find out the moment of resistance of this singly reinforced section. Now see the imaginary beam. Here also we can find out the moment of resistance. For which? For upper bar and for the lower bar we have to going to find out. So at the upper bar, what is the stress? What is the stress at the upper bar? FSC ASC, FSC into ASC or not? That is force equal to stress into area. Your upper part here, the stress is FSC. What? FSC means what? Stress in steel in compression zone. Stress in steel in compression zone. And again, one thing also there, stress in concrete in compression zone. So FSC also there, FCC also there. Okay, so we can find out mu2 equal to for FSC and FCC and as well as for this tension steel. For first beam, we are going to find out mu1 for first beam. Okay, for the first beam, first single reinforced beam, you are going to find out mu1, which is equal to mu limit, because here we are going to find out the moment of resistance of the singly reinforced section, that is mu1 equal to mu limit. Now second is mu2 equal to what? For this steel and for this steel, means compression zone steel and tension zone steel. So mu limit equal to mu limit plus mu1. Mu limit plus mu1 or not? You just see your notebook. mu2 equal to due to AC plus due to AST2, due to AC and due to AST2. Okay, then mu equal to total mu equal to mu limit or mu1 plus mu2. Here due to AC and due to AST2. Okay, due to AC and due to AST2. Okay, these things you are going to do in your these three diagrams. Okay, finally you are going to find out moment of resistance for this one. Finally you are going to find out the moment of resistance for this one. So this is your final answer. Okay, now so here I am right here. First, if there is a double reinforced section is there, what can we do? If there is double reinforced section is there, first you have to convert into singly reinforced section or balanced section, not singly reinforced, under reinforced section. Under reinforcement or balanced section. Three types of section we have: balanced, under reinforced and over reinforced. You all of you know the conditions also. XU is XU equal to XU max, XU is less than XU max and XU is greater than XU max. But I know that you don't know what is the concept. Okay, what is the concept you don't know, that I am going to explain. Okay, so see here, if our section is XU is greater than XU max, then our section is over reinforced, means given bending moment is greater than moment of resistance. Okay, and that also converted into doubly reinforced section. Okay, so we have to reduce that section or redesign that section as singly or under reinforced section or not. So first what we can do in that case, first we may increase the depth of the beam, but it is not good. If we increase the depth of the beam, how much time we can increase the depth? Either 650 or 600 or 550. If it is failed, then what can you do? We cannot increase that value, we cannot increase. That's why the second is, it is possible to increase both the compressive and tensile forces of the beam by providing steel reinforcement in the compression phase and additional reinforcement in tension phase of the beam without increasing the depth. Then you design the beam as our under reinforced section. Okay, so we have to follow this second method for our design of doubly reinforced section. Okay, now see the total, how you calculate then? The total compressive force of such beams comprises force due to concrete in compression plus force due to steel in compression. Okay, the total compressive force, how you calculate? Compressive force means what? Stress, na? Compressive force means nothing but stress. How you calculate? Force due to steel in compression and the steel in tension also. Okay, then the first provided by AST limit, okay, which is equal to the compressive force of concrete in compression. And the second part is due to the additional steel in tension, its force will be equal to the compressive force of steel in compression. Okay, and by using this concept you are going to design the doubly reinforced section. So now see, okay, generally in which type of conditions we can provide the doubly reinforced sections? Okay, I told you already, where continuous beams are provided, wherever we are designed to continuous beam, means in the continuous beam what happened? Moving loads are there. If suppose there is a continuous beam and there is moving loads are there, then what happened? Point of contraflexure occurs or not? Point of contraflexure we will find out in the continuous beam or not? That's why the beam will change its sign. Okay, so here in this critical case, if we provide reinforcement in the compression zone as well as tension zone, we can balance the beam. Okay, and this beam is behave like a doubly reinforced section. Okay, that is the first case. Then second case, the ductility requirement has to be followed. Where we have to increase the ductility of the beam, then we can use the doubly reinforced section because it is more ductile. Okay, then the reduction of long-term deflection is needed. Whenever we are going to reduce the deflection, we are going to provide doubly reinforced section. Okay, in the singly reinforced section also we can provide reinforcement in the compression zone, but that is not called steel. That is called hanging bars. That is called what? Hanging bars. We provide only hanging bars to look our design better. Okay, to look our design better. Okay, Now the assumptions. Now I am going to the most important thing, that is assumption. Open your code book, page number 69. So what is in your page number 69? First assumption is plane section normal to the axis remain plane after bending. This means if there is a section is there, okay, if there is one section is there, then if I draw the strain diagram like this, then from neutral axis to the extreme compression fiber or neutral axis to the extreme bottom tension fiber, the strain is uniform. What? The strain is uniform. That is called plane section. The normal to the axis remain plane after bending. Okay. Now second, the maximum strain in concrete at the outermost compression fiber is taken as 0.0035 in the bending. All of you know that at the tension means top of the compression fiber we take it 0.0035. Then the acceptable stress strain curve of concrete is assumed to be parabolic. Okay, just see your stress strain curve of parabola. So here, what is the concept? Just see, if this is our axis. Okay. Here the axis is strain. Okay, and here stress. Okay, this is the stress strain curve for the concrete. This is the stress strain curve for the concrete. So here what happened? The maximum value is FCK, means the characteristic strength of concrete. What do you mean by characteristic strength of concrete? At which 5% of test results are expected to fall during the 28 days of compressive strength. Okay, after 28 days of curing, the 5% of test results are expected to fall. Means here the maximum value is 20. Suppose 20. Okay, suppose I am going to take M20 grade concrete. So here is a FCK. So what is the lower value? How you can find out that 0.67 FCK? How? Whenever you are going to design a stress strain curve for any material, first you mention the top highest value. Top highest value, that is suppose FCK. I am taking FCK. Now I am going to divide by 1.5. Why 1.5? The partial safety factor for the concrete is 1.5. Okay. Before going to divide the partial safety factor, I have to take consideration of the size of the beam. Okay, suppose the size of the beam is 1.5. Suppose the size of the section is concrete cube is 1.5. So first I have to divide it by this. So 1 by 1.5, how much? 1 by 1.5. 0.67. So this is 0.67 FCK. Now here, what you do? Divided by partial safety factor of that material. So for concrete, what you have to take the partial safety factor? 1.5. So again you have to divide 1.5. How much it will be? 0.446 FCK. 0.446 FCK. Now you confirm, you clear about this concept regarding the stress strain curve of concrete? All of you know that? You have a doubt on that? Clear? Okay, how you can find out? Any stress strain curve, this is for concrete, any stress strain curve we are going to find out, first you take the topmost value, then you divide it by size of the material, then you divide it by the partial safety factor. Okay, understand? So now the tensile strength of concrete is ignored. You know that concrete is weak in tension and strong in compression, that's why you provide tension reinforcement. Then the design stresses of the reinforcement are derived from the representative stress strain curves as shown in the figure 23A of IS 456-2000. So you will see in your 23A of IS 456-2000 there is a stress strain curve for steel. Okay, what happened? 0.87 Fy. 0.87 Fy means this is our design stress. Okay, what? Design stress. Because on that curve from 0.002 strain to 0.87 Fy, stress is proportional to strain. That's why we take 0.87 Fy is our design stress always. Okay. Then what is given? for that type of steel, use partial safety factor as 1.15, and you take the partial safety factor for steel is 1.15. Okay. Then this also you know, the maximum strain in the tension reinforcement in the section at failure shall not be less than Fy by 1.15 PS plus 0.002. Okay. Now these two, that is 7 number and 8 number, that is assumptions for the doubly reinforced section. Okay. You cannot go to find out the X by D ratio need not be strictly followed. The limitations. Okay. We cannot take the limitations of X by D ratio need not be strictly followed here. Okay. Then you can solve it by whenever you are going to do the diagram, solve the one problem, then you can understand about that. Then the stress-strain relationship of steel in compression is same as the tension. Okay, that is same. Okay, now we go further. This is for singly reinforced section. Okay, now we are come to doubly reinforced section. Okay, see, for the singly reinforced section, first consider first. Okay, compressive force is C equal to T. So what is compressive force? 0.36 ST. Okay, so here X equal to, or suppose XU. Okay, XU equal to 0.87 Fy. Please do in your notebook. Write in your notebook. Okay, now I am going to write this equation in the X by D form. XU by D equal to 0.87 Fy AST divided by 0.36 FCK B into D. Okay, then here AST by BD is your PT. Understand, AST by BD into 100 is your PT. Okay, then what I am going to do, our lever arm equation is lever arm equal to Z minus Z equal to D minus 0.42 XU. Okay, so Z equal to 1 whole D whole into 1 minus 0.42 XU by D. So I can put the XU by D value here. Okay, so D whole into 1 minus 0.42 into 0.87 Fy into AST divided by 0.36 FCK V into D. Okay, so this value is very small, 0.42 into 0.87 by 0.36. So I can write Z equal to D whole into 1 minus 0 Fy AST divided by FCK BD, which is our final lever arm equation. But you don't know what is the maximum value of XU. Okay, what is the maximum value of XU, or what is the value you have to take? Just see in this, XU by D equal to 0.87 Fy AST divided by 0.36 FCK B into D. AST by BD into 100 is PT. Okay, if PT will be increases, automatically XU by D is increases or not. XU by D increases, then we have to limit some value. XU, you have to give some limitation to the XU. Otherwise, what happened to that? Otherwise, it will be the neutral axis may be strike to the tension reinforcement. It may be lower to the below the neutral axis come to the what? Tension reinforcement. And that thing is not happen in our design. Our design may be wrong. Okay, so we have to balance that. How can you do? Suppose to limit this value, XU value, I am going to take XU max. Okay, I am going to take XU max. So, draw one diagram. Okay, now I am going to do the strain diagram. Big strain diagram. Okay, first our three conditions are there. First is XU equal to XU max, XU less than XU max, and XU greater than XU max. These three values, listen carefully, okay? These three values, these three conditions now I am going to take to find out the XU, what is the position of our neutral axis in these three conditions. Suppose this is our XU. Suppose this is our XU max. See, this is our XU max. This is our XU max. XU max. If it is XU max, to take it as XU equal to XU max, these things, okay, suppose, assume that this is XU equal to XU max. Now, here the value is, total value here is 0.0035 and here is 0.87 Fy ES plus 0.002. Okay. So whenever XU equal to XU max, neutral axis lies here. Neutral axis lies here. Means in here. Now if XU is less than XU max, if XU is less than XU max, then neutral axis lies here. Suppose neutral axis lies here. So in this condition, what you do? What is the concept regarding XU is less than XU max? Still fail fast. Okay, still fails fast. How it fails? Do you know that? How it fails? How it fails still? Still fails if when the compressive strain in the concrete reaches not. Compressive strain on the topmost of concrete fiber is 0.0035 and tension steel is less than this value. Okay, at that time XU less than XU max occur. So our diagram is, if our diagram should be like this. Means what happened here? When XU is less than XU max, the strain in the concrete is 0.0035 and strain in the tensile steel is more than what? 0.87 Fy by ES plus 0.002. Means this is greater than 0.87 Fy by ES plus 0.002. Okay, but in your assumption, see what are the assumptions this diagram will satisfy? Which assumption? The second one assumption and the sixth number one. Sixth number assumption satisfied. Okay, yeah, at this time maybe XU is less than XU max occur. Another assumption is what? If the concrete is reached 0.0035 value, the tension steel will be more than this. Or if the strain in concrete is less than 0.0035, the tensile steel is 0.87 Fy by ES plus 0.002. Understand or not? So here, draw the diagram carefully. Okay, so this value is less than 0.0035. Okay, in these two conditions you can follow the under reinforced section. Okay, which condition? When the concrete has extreme strain value at the top fiber, that is 0.0035, and the tensile strain have more than 0.87 Fy by ES plus 0.002, or if the strain in concrete is less than 0.0035 and the tensile steel value is 0.87 Fy by Es plus 0.002. Okay. Now this is for XU is less than XU max. XU is less than XU max. This is this. Okay. Now I am going to find out XU is greater than XU max. Whenever XU is greater than XU max, the neutral axis lies. Suppose neutral axis lies here. Neutral axis, these are neutral axis. Okay. These are neutral axis. For different condition, I am showing you what is the position of neutral axis. Okay. So when XU is greater than XU max, what happened? Just reverse of this. Okay. When XU is greater than XU max, just reverse of this. What happened? Whenever the concrete already reach 0.0035, the tensile steel should be less than this. Or if the concrete should be more than 0.0035 strain, the tensile steel should be here, which is we are not taken in our design purposes. Because what is our 6 number assumption say? Maximum strain in the tension reinforcement in the section at failure shall not be less than. But in this condition, what happened? It should be less than. Means our diagram is like this. And this to this is more than 0.0035. It is impossible. Okay, it is impossible. And this is less than. Here this to this value is. This is less than 0.87 Fy by Es plus 0.002. Which is not possible. That's why we have to in this condition, we have to redesign the section. Everybody clear? Okay, and this is called over-reinforced section. This is called balanced section and this is called under-reinforced section. Means whenever you are going to design singly reinforced section or double reinforced section, it should be under-reinforced. It should be under-reinforced or balanced, not over-reinforced. If it is over-reinforced, we have to redesign the section. Okay, now all of you know about the concept regarding this. So I am going to give some steps about the doubly reinforced section. So in the doubly reinforced section, what you have to do first? First you do analysis part and another is design part is there. In the analysis part, what we have to do? In the analysis part, what we have to do? First we find out the moment of resistance of the singly reinforced section, that is mu1 equal to mu limit. Then we are going to find out what? We are going to find out what? mu2 due to the stress in concrete and steel, ASC and AST2. Then total moment of resistance. So we are going to solve one problem. Or I have to give some equations. I have to write some equations, then only we solve some problems. Okay. So first, mu1 equal to mu limit. Okay. So here I am going to find out the moment of resistance of singly reinforced section. So moment of resistance of singly reinforced section is mu limit. It may be, means in the singly reinforced section what happened? If it is under reinforced, steel fails first or concrete fails last or not. Suppose I am taking a compression zone case. Okay, what is the formula? 0.36 K into FCK into BD square. Just remember, K into FCK into BD square. Okay, K into FCK into BD square. So here is 0.36 FCK XU max by D whole into 1 minus D minus 0.1 minus 0.42 XU max by D into VD square. This is our formula to find out the mu limit. Or if this is for the concrete failure. For the concrete failure I am just taking this. For the tension failure 0.87 Fy into AST limit. Okay, AST limit D minus 0.42 XU max. So to calculate mu, we have to use this formula. This is step 1. Step 1. Okay, this is step 1. First, you are going to find out the moment of resistance of which section? Of which beam? Singly reinforced beam. Singly reinforced beam. That singly reinforced beam, that is the moment of resistance formula. Then you are come to second beam. What is the moment of resistance of that? Moment of resistance for that is mu2 step 2. mu2 equal to FSC into, ASC whole into FSC minus FCC. This is the stress into area, means force. Okay, then multiplied by lever arm. What is the lever arm? D minus D dash. Just see in your diagram. See, this is your doubly reinforced section. Below that, in the reinforcement zone, 5 reinforcing steel are provided. Upper part, 2 compressive steel provided, means tension steel, but that is provided in compression zone. Then what happened? This is the strain diagram. It is same, and epsilon SC, strain at the level of steel compression stress. Okay, that is strain at the level of compression steel and the compression zone of the concrete. Okay, that is also you find out. Now here you see that this is the stress diagram. This is the stress diagram. From this to this, what? This is the D dash. D dash means effective cover. Effective cover of the concrete from the topmost compression fiber to CG of the topmost compression steel. Okay, CG of the compression steel, that is D dash. Okay, and this D dash you are going to find out C2. And from this uniform stress, means here is what? Here is what? This is what? Uniformly stress of concrete. Okay, this is C2, this is C1. The distance between C2 to tension means D dash to at the end of D dash to the tension fiber. It is D minus D dash. This is the lever arm of this doubly reinforced section. Okay, understand? So either I am going to take this formula, ASC whole into FSC minus FCC, D minus D dash. FSC means what? Compressive steel in the compression zone, and this is FCC is compression in concrete in the compression zone. Or which formula? 0.AST2 whole into 0.87 Fy D minus D dash. D minus D dash. Upper part stress and lower part stress into lever arm, and upper part stress into lever arm. Understand? Then we can equate this ASC, equate this two diagram, two values, ASC whole into FSC minus FCC, D minus D dash equal to AST2 whole into 0.87 Fy D minus D dash. So D minus D dash got which value you can found? ASC. You can find out ASC from these three equations. You can found ASC. Just write down. We can find ASC from these above three equations. You can found ASC. Okay. We can found ASC. Then total tensile reinforcement. Total tensile reinforcement AST equal to how much? Singly reinforcement have the AST limit. AST limit means that is nothing but AST1. AST limit plus this AST2. This is your total AST. FSC, how you find out FSC? First you are going to find epsilon SC, strain at the level of compression steel. Strain at the level of compression steel. What is the formula? Epsilon SC. To determine FSC, you have to find out first epsilon SC equal to what? 0.0035 plus We are going to find out epsilon SC. That is, you take this design stress value. You have to take this design stress table. Okay. So write down one problem. Analysis of doubly reinforced beam. Analysis of doubly reinforced beam. Analysis of doubly reinforced beam. Given datas are small b equal to 300 mm, small b equal to 300 mm, capital D equal to 500 mm, capital D equal to 500 mm. Then clear cover equal to 25 mm. Okay. Then concrete M20 steel and Fe415. M20 steel and Fe415. Concrete has M20 grade concrete and Fe415. Then compression reinforcement 3 number of 20 mm dia bars. Compression steel 3 number of 20 mm dia bar and tension steel 5 number of 25 mm dia bar. 5 number of 25 mm dia bar. Using this procedure, just find out. First, MU limit, find out, calculate. Tell me what is MU1, calculate yourself. 177. MU1 is the 177 kilonewton meter. Okay. Now what you have to calculate? Steel you have to calculate. Okay, steel. You can find out AST limit from this formula. Listen, by using this formula find out AST limit. First, calculate in your, this is MU limit equal to 0.87 Fy, AST limit D minus 0.42 XU max. Using that equation you are going to find out AST limit. No net to percentage of steel, that is different, this is different. That's why I am going to tell you that, please listen what I am going to teach.
AST limit is AST1.
AST limit is AST1, but you are going to find out what? AST limit means AST1 you are going to find out. Calculate. By using this formula you are going to calculate. Tell me how much? AST limit how much? AST limit is nothing but AST1. Calculate. You have to convert it into Newton. Okay. So this is kilonewton meter. You have to convert it Newton mm. Means into 10 to the 6. 177 into 10 to the 6 divided by. It should be 1327.8 mm square. Everyone get or not? Okay, 1328 mm square. Put that 1328. That is your what? That is your AST limit or AST1. Okay. Now what is your total AST? Total AST is how much? 5 number of 25 mm dia bars. Calculate 5 into pi by 4 into 25 square. 2454. Which is greater than what? AST1. Okay. Now we can find out AST2. Calculate AST2. AST2 equal to AST limit minus total AST. Total AST minus AST1. 1127 mm square. Okay, so total AST1, AST, that is AST limit, AST2 and total AST. You all got. Okay. Now MU2. Calculate MU2. Calculate MU2. MU2. Use this formula. MU2. 173 kilonewton meter. So MUT equal to how much? How you get? Means you are doing that third, that is mu equal to final mu equal to mu1 plus mu-t. Mu-t, that is for tensile, that is mu2, but that is for tension moment of resistance. For tension zone you are going to find out the moment of resistance. Now find out for compression steel, all over for tension steel. Now find out for compression steel. Do for compression steel. So for the compression steel, what you have to find out? D dash. First you have to find out D dash. Do. Karo. D dash equal to 35. Then D dash by D. D dash by D. Do D dash by D. Okay. By using that 0.0756, you are going to find out the epsilon SC. Okay. So calculate epsilon SC. Calculate epsilon SC. Calculate epsilon SC. Now using this table, okay, now using this table find out FSC. You are going to find out FSC by using this table. Use that. 0.0035. Here is epsilon SC. Here is XU minus D, and this is your D dash. Okay, this is your D dash. So epsilon SC equal 0.0035 divided by XU. Total is your XU, which is equal to epsilon SC divided by XU minus D. Then you put the value of XU and D and you are going to find out epsilon SC. Now you are using this table, and by using the linear interpolation formula, you are going to find out the value of FSC. FSC, how much? FSC, calculate by interpolation. By interpolation, just calculate. Interpolation formula? कितने? 352.8. Okay. Now mu2 equal to, use this formula. Put FSC into D minus D dash. FCC is very small. Why FCC is very small? Why? Why FCC is very small? Because that is stress in concrete in the compression zone. Stress in concrete in the compression zone. That's why. How much stress in concrete in compression zone? 0.446 FCK. Always remember that. Okay. This is your stress block. At the top fiber of the concrete, stress is 0.446 FCK. Okay, that is nothing but FCC. That is nothing but FCC, which is very small of FSC. That's why we neglect it. In our doubly reinforced design, we neglect it. That's why 0.87 FY, sorry, ASC, FSC, D minus D dash. How much? 142 kilonewton meter. Now what is MUC? MUC equal to MU1 plus MUC. Okay, calculate. 319 kilonewton meter. So what is our actual moment of resistance? 319 means minimum of MUT and MUC. We are going to take MU, moment of resistance of the doubly reinforced section. So this is our analysis part. All of you understand? Anybody have doubt? Okay, so from above all the discussion, what we have concluded? We design a doubly reinforced section. We design a doubly reinforced section, and this is the course outcomes. The methods of determination of compressive stress in steel are illustrated. Means we are going to find out, means we already find out what is the FCC and what is FCC, which are not used in our singly reinforced sections. So then the stress and strain diagrams of a doubly reinforced rectangular beam are explained to write down the three equations of equilibrium equations. In our singly reinforced section, we only got the moment of resistance for the singly reinforced sections, means MOR for only tensile steel. But here in this case, we will find out the MU1, MU limit, and finally MU. Finally, the moment of resistance for the double reinforced section by using the tension steel as well as compression steel. Now, the two types of problems and the different steps of solution of them by two different methods are explained. We did the analysis part and design part. So, in the analysis part, the different steps are there. In the design parts, different steps are there. In the analysis part, what we have found? What is the moment of resistance of the actual sections. And in the design part, we are going to design what is the value of AST, what is the value of ASC. Means additional AST2 means additional area as well as compressive steel area. Okay. Finally, the computation of the total compressive and tensile forces are illustrated. And finally, you got the what is the compressive force for both the zones and tensile steel for both the zones. Okay.